Alright gamers, Stellar Blade is here and it is not holding your hand. This game has some challenging enemies and bosses, and we here at Direct Gaming got the perfect guide for you on how to defeat Gigas, aka the King Kong boss of this game. Let's not waste any more time and get straight into it. As with all our guides, we're going to cover the following: how to prep for the boss, including moves and skills that we personally brought into the boss fight, attacks and abilities that the boss will throw at you and how to deal with each one of them, and finally a full unedited run of the fight sped up a tad. Now, when it comes to the skills at this point in the game, there are not too many new skills to really buy. However, what this can allow for is upgrading your skills that you already have. I personally recommend upgrading Triplet, aka L1 in square, and Shockwave, L1 in circle, if you can. If you don't have these, don't worry, it's not required. Simple parries and combos will do the job just fine. It just makes it a little bit more fun and unique. With that being said, it's now time for the boss itself. Now, when it comes to the boss fight, let's go over the moves the boss is going to throw at you and how to best avoid and counter these. Remember that unless the boss glows a yellow-orange color or the blue that we've seen beforehand, you can block all of the attacks. Right away when the boss fight starts, the boss will actually jump down from the ledge it's up on and attack you, prompting a quick time event. It's pretty fast, so be ready. Now, up to this point, this boss is definitely way more agile than others you have faced beforehand. One of its main moves includes a basic 2-hit combo, but only after it jumps to the side and then attacks you. So make sure you are locked on and the camera can follow the boss. Interesting thing I noted when facing off against said boss here, if you parry certain moves, it won't actually continue its combo, thus allowing you to attack it and get some good damage done on it. There will still be moves it will attack with regardless of being parried, but that's more towards the second half of the battle. When the boss lowers its head, it's about to turn blue, meaning you need to wait for your sword to turn blue itself so you can then teleport behind the boss. Do keep in mind when the head is lowered, it will attack you sometime, so try to parry that one particular move, then wait to teleport behind the boss. If you successfully get behind the boss using the blue teleport move and get a good combo on it, it will try to counter you by doing a basic arm swing and slam attack, so best to keep an eye on the movements of its arms. Honestly, throughout this entire fight, that is the best way to tell what the boss is going to do and how you can best counter this. Now, getting into some of the unblockable moves, if the boss glows yellow, then its first phase attacks will actually cause a bunch of rocks and ground to be thrown at you from under beneath you. Hold down the dodge button to simply run to the side to best avoid this. One of its other unblockable moves is a simple ground pound attack that can either be perfect dodged or simply just run from. This can also include a rock being thrown at you if it's far away, so again, running I found to be pretty easy here. As always, the boss loves to jump around like the gorilla that it's based off of, so be on your toes at all times. Oh, another thing I also noticed, try not to stick around the space pod, as I found sometimes it can interfere with how your movement works. Basically, your foot probably gets caught on some invisible geometry, but of course, as always, it won't affect the boss, so just stay away from that area. When you get the boss to about half of its health, this is where performing one parry will not interrupt the boss's combos. The main one to watch out for includes 4 strikes with his fist and a jump attack that turns into a ground pound. Try to be careful with this final attack, however, though, since it can miss you sometimes if you're right at the boss's feet or if you dodge forward instead of trying to dodge backwards. Keep in mind, though, if it does hit you, it can deal a ton of damage. It's also usually at this point that you should have its balance/stagger bar down, and you can actually then perform a retribution attack to get some really good damage on it. When it hits the ground and is trying to get back up, this is a great time to start using your skill attacks to weaken it even more. Also around this time, the boss will most likely enter its Fire Fist stage. At least that's what I'm calling it. Some of these moves will be unblockable, so get ready with some timed dodges. One of its new unblockable moves is its Cannonball attack, where it will jump up into the air towards you and literally hit the ground as if it's jumping into a pool. Only this time, it creates a lava pool around it. It's not very big, but the splash damage can still hurt you. Its other unblockable move from part 1 now turns the rocks that it throws at you into fire rocks, so again, watch out for said splash damage. Another thing to keep in mind is if it attacks you with its fist and you do not see the boss glow yellow at any time, then you can still block and parry those attacks. If it glows yellow for a second though, back away and stay away from those particular moves. Speaking of which, the final move to watch out for when it actually glows yellow is when it will actually jump back, beating its chest, again like the gorilla that it's based on. It will then start a swinging combo with both of its arms and move towards you at a pretty fast pace, so you need to be running away as fast as you can, again holding down the dodge button. Other than that, that should be all the moves you really have to worry about. Just try as always to parry and not simply block, because your block gauge will go down if you only do that. Keep up the attacks until you get the quick time prompt and you take down your very first alpha in the game. I still highly recommend doing a 2-hit standard attack followed by 1 to 2 heavy moves when you attack it from behind after the blue dodge, but only stick to 3-hit standard combos when you're parrying the attacks from the front. You never want to leave yourself too wide open. Now, here's a full run of the boss fight sped up a tad to show you how to take Gigas down. As always, learn from the attacks and patterns, and it's okay if it takes you a couple of tries. If you enjoy the guides, and the like on the video shows us that you enjoy this type of content, and don't forget to check out our other Stellar Blade guides and content, along with our other videos in the top right corner and pinned comment. Thanks for watching the video. I've been Tallen with Direct Gaming. I hope you have a great day and week, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Johnny.